Mamma mia, pizzatower, my name is Peppino Spaghetti. I'd like to offer my deepest and most sincere apology to any Italian viewers. I didn't mean to offend. In fact, some of my fondest memories are from my time spent in Italy. It's a place of beauty, to say nothing of the Italian language, which is, of course, enchanting. I have the deepest respect for the rich history of Italy, which obviously has... Okay, so the just-released Pizzatower is a 2D platformer / time trial / score attack-based game where you play as Peppino Spaghetti. Yeah, that's his real name. It's been in development for quite a while, so I'm excited to finally get my hands on the finished product. During its lengthy gestation period, the feel of the game has changed quite a few times, but ultimately what it is now is some sort of homage to the Wario Land games, specifically 4 for the GBA, which it borrows many game mechanics from. I would say its other main gameplay inspiration would have to be the 2D Sonic titles, so ultimately it plays as some sort of bizarre love child of Wario and Sonic, and yes, there was a visual aid for Sonic X Wario, but I have fallen upon my proverbial sword for you and absorbed that image into my consciousness so that you don't have to. So maybe drop me a like for that service, would ya? Anyway, it dresses up said love child with visuals that draw on the richest of 90s cartoons, except for run through an MS Paint filter, but more on the visuals later. Let's talk story. Peppino is a down-on-his-luck chef operating a failing pizza parlor. The downtrodden Italian is unfortunately up to his apron in debt. Suddenly, an anthropomorphic pizza appears and details how the mythical pizza tower is going to destroy his business. Not one to simply lay down and take it, Peppino speeds off towards the Dark Tower to conquer its many challenges and save his pizza-making legacy. Now, originally, Pizzatower was intended by the legendary author Mario Puzo to be an epilogue to The Godfather. Godfather Part 1 and 2 detail the powerful and gripping story of the Corleones, and the Pizzatower would serve as a capstone to the tale, with a tragic narrative about failing business and pizza-induced schizophrenia. However, defying everyone's wishes, and the better judgment of many, Godfather 3 was made instead. But fortune has smiled upon us, as we now have Peppino to settle the score and tell the tale that needed to be told for so long. So in terms of game mechanics, Pizzatower borrows heavily from Wario Land 4. For those of you that didn't get a chance to play this gem for the Game Boy Advance, maybe you can make it up by playing Pizzatower now, because they're pretty similar. Gameplay works like this. Peppino enters one of the many levels from the main Pizzatower hub. He'll then work his way through the level, racking up his score by collecting various things and beating up the baddies. Hidden around the level are 5 pizza toppings that he can free and rescue. At the end of the stage, instead of your traditional exit, he'll instead find John. I don't know. I don't get the significance of John either. Just go with it. When Peppino does destroy John, a timer will start, and he'll have to run the level in reverse. There are elements of the level scattered around that will only be active during this escape phase. These changes can simply be score pickups or entire areas and pathways that can be opened or blocked, changing the flow of the level. It's a neat feature, and as you can see roughly what's going to change on your way through, it's not a complete surprise on the way back. Upon escaping the level successfully, Peppino receives a letter grade for his attempt, as well as getting cold hard cash for all the toppings he managed to rescue. In addition to this, each level has this guy who will open this door, which is generally hidden to get a treasure. Also, every stage has 3 eyeball zones that function as a little self-contained challenge, kind of like the zones in Mario Sunshine where you don't have the flood. One interesting thing I should mention is that despite having an extraordinarily cowardly and timid demeanor, Peppino, like many Italian men, is pretty much impervious to harm. A fact that I can only attribute to the Mediterranean diet. In fact, if not for cholesterol and heart disease, I have to assume that Italy would be utterly overrun by invincible, swarthy men that cannot be slain by mortal means. Anyway, back to the point. On screen, all you have to worry about is your score meter, which obviously just displays your score, your current letter grade, and then this TV that's just a reaction cam of Peppino. I have no idea why it's in the game, but it's amazing. There's also a few bosses that are generally pretty fun and zany, and you'll get a rematch with them at the end. Okay, so let's talk controls. Before I explain them, I'll just say they're buttery smooth. They've clearly been refined in the long development time to near perfection. Peppino's strict diet of pizza has granted him the strength of Hercules and the speed of Mercury. So, what can he do? Well, he's got a pretty standard jump, He's got a basic charge attack that can also give him a little air dash. He's also got a dedicated pose button that can be held to breakdance. If you time his pose just right, Peppino can reflect projectiles and avoid damage. However, the star of the show has to be his dash. Pretty much the entire game is built around speed, and Peppino can reach just incredible velocity. Fortunately, he controls very well despite being the fastest creature on land. You have a lot of options and they all flow together really smoothly. In addition to aforementioned controls, Peppino also has various alternate forms that he'll encounter in the pizza tower. He can turn into a ghost and move through cheese graters, he can eat spicy food so he can ignite TNT with his breath, he can also just pick up a gun. In general, these will change his mobility options and are pretty fun to use. As I recall, these power-ups are level specific, and I don't think that the game repeats any, so this is definitely one area where the game adds a lot of variety and fun. Visuals. I have nothing but praise for this game's visuals. It absolutely oozes style. Everything in this game has personality and charm. There's tons and tons of detail beautifully expressed in that MS Paint style, and the whole thing has the flow and balance of 90s cartoons. I actually have to wonder if a professional animator worked on Peppino himself, because the transitions he has between his various moves and just his movement in general is insanely crispy. And it's not just Peppino that's impressive either. All of the enemies and characters are vibrant and lifelike. I particularly love how when Peppino gathers insane speed, enemies that see him coming will scream with terror as he charges in. There's all kinds of references to classic cartoons, and even more modern stuff, with a whole level themed after Five Nights at Freddy's, because I guess you can't have a pizza parlor without some comparison, huh? I also love how the game captures the feel of the 90s, when game design was more level-based. In basically every game you played, there would be ice level, lava level, desert level, water level, spooky level. Well, Pizza Tower has all that, and more, but with fun twists to all of them. When you enter each level, there's a delightful splash screen that's reminiscent of the loading screen of older games. Music is good. It might be really good. It generally channels the energy of what you're doing very well. There's also dynamic bits of music that will react to how fast you're going. Definitely no complaints here. So, do I have criticisms? Yeah. Despite really liking this game, there's some definite flaws. One major issue I have is with the level design. The game clearly wants you to always be holding down dash, generally moving as fast as you can. It's always putting metal blocks in your way that can only be broken at speed. However, paradoxically, the first time you play a level, you want to take it as slow as you can to find the secrets, get the general layout, and figure out your path back out. It's weird that you have to rubber band between slowly exploring, then building up speed again just to get through obstacles. Since the game already encouraged replayability, I don't know why it doesn't just let you play it through slow and steady, knowing that you return later for the full Speed Demon combo clear. The emphasis on speed is also to the detriment of the level design, and in my opinion all games in this vein suffer from this as well, including Sonic games. You can run through a level in like 2 minutes, and barely feel like you experienced it. Since every stage has a lot visually to absorb, it's weird that you can run right by and just miss it. This goes for the unique aspects of each stage too, which can sometimes feel like you just blew right by. I guess my final criticism would be that your view is pretty zoomed in for the speed to get up to. It's difficult to react to obstacles at high speeds, and I can't help but think that if the camera was just a tad more zoomed out, it would be a smoother experience. At least zoom out for like 15% during the escape, or something. Overall, I really like this game. I'm not the biggest fan of time attack games, nor do I have any great love for the old 2D Sonic games. I kinda always felt like those games just played themselves. So even without a love of the genre, I definitely found something to enjoy here. There's also quite a bit of replayability. I've had my hands on the game for a little less than 20 hours at the time of making this video, and I expect I'll put another 10 hours before I'm done. There's a true ending that can be achieved by P-ranking every stage, which is getting a full combo while perfecting the stage, but frankly I don't think I'm good enough. Those that love a challenge might like rising to the occasion, but I was satisfied enough with a regular conclusion to the game, which I won't spoil here. What I liked most was the charm and style of the game. It feels comfy and familiar in a way that's hard to explain. Anyway, go check it out. The end is nigh and all that stuff. Doom Prophet signing out. Have fun.
On my dinghy and some salsa on my balls.